Well, this morning we continue reflecting on the life and legacy of former Deputy President David Mabuza. Let's now speak to Zodwa Zwane, the former personal assistant to Winnie Mandela. In 2022, she was one of the beneficiaries of a housing handover facilitated by Mabuza himself, and she now joins us this morning. A very good morning to you, Mam Zodwa. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Condolences to you as well as your fellow comrades. What reflections do you have at this moment?
A very good morning to you, Agrin, and the viewers. The first reflection I had was exactly the day when he gave me a house, because he had come to my house when we had lost a brother in 2019. That's when the discussion started. And, 2 years down the line, he did it. And, when they called me to say the house will be given to me by himself, that really made me feel so excited. And he personally came and gave me flowers as well, while I could still smell them. Yeah.
Yeah. And speak to us quickly about how that relationship was established as well. The relationship between yourself as well as Didi Mabuza, the conversations that you would have as well.
Okay, Didi was he loved Mama Mandela very much. I remember the birthday where he brought, the biggest cake ever that she ever received. But then later in the years after the passing of Mama Mandela in 2019, I lost my brother, and they had come with the premier at my home to pay respect. That's when the conversation started, because he actually saw my sister, at the time, who was living in the back room, and it was a very small room. And when he said he was going to build a house for her, then I also told him that I also don't have a house. And that's when it started. Unfortunately, a month later, my sister also passed away.
Yeah. And then moments leading up to the house then that would eventually be handed over to you. I remember I was there with a couple of friends as well as we witnessed that moment and how emotional it was. But people came out to celebrate.
Yes, it was very, very emotional, especially because, he would have handed the house earlier if he had got the land, because that's initially what he wanted. He wanted to like build me a house than, getting a house that has been built by, Calgro or whoever. So that was the thing that delayed the whole thing. But however, he did it because he had promised me a house, he gave me a house. And I will forever be grateful for that.
Yeah, and when we were chatting a bit earlier on, you were saying that the other thing for you is that you feel that you haven't said thank you enough to him. Why do you have that feeling?
Yeah, at the memorial service, one of the things that I said was, you'll never know the value of a mother until she is no more. And yesterday, when I heard of his passing, the first thing that came to my mind was, I didn't realize that's how much, I valued him. And I wonder if I ever told him enough that I am grateful, and I thank him for what he did for me.
Yeah, and in conclusion, what would you like to tell the people that they don't know about Didi Mabuza, the person that you had experienced?
One of the things, the day he promised me the house, the premier then, Mr. David Mabuza, said, there are so many people that he built houses for, and he said one thing about him is that when he makes a promise, he keeps the promise. So one of the things that I knew about him is the fact that he's more into people. He helps people. He has helped a lot of people, especially the homeless ones.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Zodwa Zwane. Those visuals that you are watching there on your screen are of that day. It was on the 15th of October, 2022, when Didi Mabuza, alongside the ANC officials in the province, there you have the MEC as well in Gauteng being part of those officials that were there as the house was being handed over to Zodwa Zwane. And I guess this also speaks to the generosity of Didi Mabuza as we reflect on his life. A bit later on, we'll be speaking to Refilwe Mthweni-Tsipane, who's the former Premier of Mpumalanga, as you can see there on the side of your screen. She was his successor, and we will be speaking about what the role is that he would have played in her life and her political career as well, in leading up to her trajectory to becoming the Premier of the province. And now, of course, she is with the National Council of Provinces.